Hello, welcome to What She's Thinking. I'm Greg Schwartz, your dating coach. Men like you have sent in questions about dating and sex. I have a group of women that are going to answer your questions, and I'll help clarify their answers so you hear exactly what these women want and why. Send in your questions at debugdating.com/questions. And remember, subscribe so you can hear all of the episodes. Now, ladies, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Rose McAleese. I'm a 29-year-old screenwriter from Seattle who currently lives in Los Angeles. I'm a huge sneakerhead, an ArcLight Gold member, and I always carry a fan. I'm a passionate goofball book nerd who hates picky eaters. I have commitment issues, but I'll be very honest about it up front. I love a guy with a great sense of humor who isn't easily intimidated.
Hey guys, my name is Stefanie Maegan, and I am 28, and I am the host and the creator of the podcast called Broco Therapy. I am a serial dater who documents her struggles with dating, sex, and relationships as form of therapy because therapy is too expensive. Feel free to subscribe to my podcast. You can get the links on brocotherapy.com. Me on dates and just me in general, like I'm super bubbly. I love to laugh. I'm a serial dater, so I go on a bunch of first dates. I can't really seem to find a match for whatever reason. So I do put myself out there to figure out what it is that I like in a man, what I don't like in a man, and I just have fun while doing it. Me and Rose are definitely, like, we're friends. So we're definitely like, I mean, she's louder than me, but I'm like normal loud. She's just like loud. And, but in general, like we're very strong women who know exactly what we want, but at the same time don't know exactly what we want. So in my case, I don't really know, but like I'm figuring that out. But I'm also like not gonna like settle for any bullshit. And our zodiac signs, I'm an Aquarius.
I'm a Scorpio. We travel really well together.
Yeah, we live in Los Angeles. And I look at dating as like a fun thing too. It's something I like to do to keep my mind off of life and reality at times. So that's why I enjoy documenting and I create a podcast out of it.
Beyond the first time you have sex, how do you like your boyfriend to tell you he wants to have sex? He's excited to have sex that night or later that day.
Send me a dick pic.
I'm going to say no on the dick pic. Also, you said
definitely the first time only time so far I have heard of that.
Oh, really?
That.
Oh, okay.
Not the term,
Okay.
but a woman's been like, I want a dick pic.
I want a dick
That's
pic.
I understand where she's coming from, though. It's not that we want a dick pic. You're talking about this is a boyfriend, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
from a boyfriend, not just from any guy.
Yes, no.
I don't
this is you're in a relationship, or at least you've dated multiple times. This is not the first time you're having sex. This is second, third, fourth. And
okay. I mean, maybe I would want a dick pic in a relationship. I wouldn't want it before, because I don't want guys to be sending me dick pics.
Please don't send us
Don't send me.
Please.
No dick pics.
No
dick pics.
No.
I just think I like when they're straightforward. So just saying or even just saying come over tonight. Like, I want to see you. Like, I hint that as like, you want to have sex. So I'm shaving my vagina and I'm coming over.
You're like, give me 25 minutes, my legs.
Yeah,
Or if your hair is long enough, they can't tell whether or not you've shaved.
Exactly.
Which is the true secret of life, ladies. If you go long enough not shaving your legs, they still feel very smooth. Sorry, that's not your question.
When you have me and Rose
new on this podcast, so hey.
When you have me and Rose together in one room, it just it's
bad.
Okay, continue.
Okay. I think if you like the whole being kind of sweet and touchy, like if you start kissing my neck and kind of are like, I'm like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. I think the sweet initiations. I've also haven't had a boyfriend in a very long time, so that word is very triggering in a weird way. But yeah, I think the sweet I want to see you or I miss you, even the
because it's not just sex, it's also you want to spend time with me, quality time.
Mm-hmm.
And also the whole, I love the damn girl, you look so good right now. And I'm like, yeah. Okay, we about to get it. If you tell me you look beautiful, I'm like, okay, let's go to the bedroom, or not, let's just hook up on the kitchen floor. I don't know. But I think that of just being super sweet, of making it kind of not so forward. I think it's really sexy when it's not forward. I want to have sex. It's more damn, you look so beautiful right now.
It just depends on the relationship, because I had a friends with benefits, and he would just say let's make out, let's have sex.
Yeah.
Because that relationship was simply just that. But if I'm dating somebody, then yes, I would want it to be a little sweeter. Like, I want to see you tonight. Like, I haven't seen you in a while, you know?
But if it's a friends of benefits, I mean, like,
yeah,
you're literally like, I'm cashing in my benefits. And you're like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
Cashing in my benefits.
Never heard that term either. Wow. Awesome. All right.
You're welcome.
So, are there any physical ways that you like him to show that? You know, you were saying like kissing your
the
neck,
neck.
that kind of thing.
The neck.
The neck is...
The thigh rub.
Oh, the thigh rub.
Or just like grab my titties.
Yeah,
I like
tell
when
us
you just
more about that.
the thigh rub.
Thigh rub.
Yeah.
Thigh rub.
Just like not the outside of the thigh, but
The
inside
inner
of the
thigh.
And we're not talking about the knee. We talking about
Talking-
the little thigh.
yeah. Right by
Like,
the
just
vagina.
like,
And I'm sorry, guys, there are hand motions with this, but I can't record those. So.
But it's just like you rub your hand on the thigh twice, and then the third time you do a gently squeeze, and then it's
Yes,
like,
the
"You
squeeze,
got
the
me."
Especially when you're in the car too, and they're just like,
You're like, okay, this is happening in the car.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the 405. We have time to kill.
Right.
So
True.
The thigh squeeze, I think, is really cute. The
ear,
the
nibble in the ear.
nibble in the ear, the nibble in the
I like
neck.
when they like grab my titties.
Oh, okay, that's new.
Yeah, that tell us more on that one too.
That's
is there
how-
a way, or is it just like
Well, like,
just to
okay,
grab
for
it?
instance, the other night when I had sex, yesterday, it's like, that was yesterday.
Again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Great content for this episode. We were watching a movie and we were just like cuddling, and then he just like grabbed my tits and was like squeezing it, and I was like, I don't know, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I also think like going in for the passion.
Sorry, Greg. I'm like squeezing my titties.
Hey, whatever works for you. That's why I'm asking.
This is great content.
It is. It is.
Or like I always like this move because sometimes I gotta be put in my place, but like when they just grab your face, do the aggressive kiss, and then just walk away, and then you're like,
See, that's just playing games, though.
I know, but you know me. I love games.
I do too. And here's the thing: like girls, we kind of like that. For instance, I know this is not like physical touch, but I was at a bar once, and this guy approached me, and he came up and he was like, "You're really cute," and I was like, "I think you're really cute too." Walks away.
You know that's my go-to move.
Yeah, he walks away, and I'm like, "Wait, where'd he go?" And I'm like over here, like I'm dancing with other guys, but I'm looking to find this guy. I'm like, he told me I was cute. Why did he walk away?
You know that's my move. I go up to guys all the time at nightclubs, and I'm just always like, I'll say something about them like, your jawline is so sexy, and just immediately walk away. I don't want to hear
It's
anything
so
from
smart.
him. But it's one of these things where they're like, one, it's so rare that a girl hits on a dude, and then
Right.
they're like, who the hell is this chick? Like, whoa, come back. Tell me more about my jawline. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, on to the next.
Yeah, and
You know?
exactly that's what I did. Is later when the bar closed, I went outside, I saw him getting a hot dog, and I went up to him. I was like, "What?" You know. So it worked. There you go.
He was eating street meat. That's a little questionable, though. I'm sorry. Hot
That
dogs.
was my reaction too.
I was like, hot
that-
dogs at the end of the night, though.
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry. I
You
mean,
literally
whatever.
are like, I'll see you in 2 days.
yeah, you're like
when you recuperate from that. But you went up and
I
that's the
still
whole
went up
point.
regardless
Yes,
of the
yes.
street
So
meat.
it worked.
Yeah.
Even regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's very smart ways of initiating.
This was a question that I mentioned where it sounded like the guy was a little bit aggravated.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the question was, and I'm just going to read it. How does it feel as a woman when you want sex more than your partner does, and you can't use that asymmetry to exercise power over him?
Okay.
Yeah. So I wasn't kidding about him, whoever submitted this, sounding like he had some pretty uncomfortable things happen in a relationship.
So he wasn't really wanting, like it wasn't consensual.
From the way I'm reading it, it sounds like
She was
he's
more aggressive.
used to having, being the one who is sort of more interested in sex. And apparently he was in a relationship where he wasn't, or
And
maybe he
she
just is
was.
imagining it. And he's like, how does it feel when you as the woman are the one who's like, wow, I really want sex, rather than us as the guys, since we're pretty much always the ones
I get
who are
insecure.
like, I want sex, I want sex, I want sex.
Like so if I really want sex and they're
More than the guy that you're
more
seeing.
than the guy.
Yeah.
I would only feel bad about it if he was like rejecting me. Like,
in what sense?
Like, let's say he's not able to get hard, or he's like just really not in the mood, and he hasn't been in the mood for like months or weeks or days or whatever. Then it would get to me. I would feel insecure. Like, am I not sexy enough? Am I, like, are you not into me? Like, it would make me feel insecure.
Yeah. as someone who usually has a higher sex drive than men, I do have to say, like, yeah, like jokes aside and everything, but I am a little more coyer about it, like in actual, because I think it's so easy for men to just be like sex, 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 sex. For women, we get labeled slut and whore.
Right.
And so we have to be a little more cautious about it. And we don't get to be as liberated. So usually I can sense there has been situations where a guy is not in it as much as me. And I'm kind of like, you know what? I respect that. Like, I get that. Like, I think consent goes both ways.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever use it as a power over the man.
Yeah, I would never do that.
Yeah, that's kind of mean.
That is.
And
not all women are like that, by the way.
yes.
Yeah. I think what he was saying or asking about, I guess, is like not being able to turn him down, like not having that power.
Oh, that sucks. Wow. Hi, cat.
Oh, and there's the cat.
Welcome to the podcast. I would. That sucks.
That does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you. But I genuinely think in the most part of it, as someone with a high sex drive, I would never take advantage of that because I would hate the opposite to have happen.
True. I would never take advantage. But I guess from like when I was talking about the insecurities, that comes from just like
rejection.
Rejection.
Yeah.
But like if, maybe his sex drive isn't as fire as mine, then I wouldn't ever make a guy feel bad about that. That's not.
Yeah, because also it's not always surrounded by sex. Like even having a high sex drive, if we can have like a genuinely, you don't agree with me, that's okay.
The cat apparently has objections.
Yeah.
That's the meowing that you're
The
hearing
cat's
right
like,
now.
bitch, hold up. I
Yeah.
don't talk for all of us. But I think because even though I have a high sex drive, I still want to be able to like, can you have a conversation with me?
Right.
Can we talk about this? Because I also think that's the sexiest part is being able to have like a conversation and
Mental
to communicate.
stimulation.
Mental stimulation is, I think that's where my high sex drive comes from, is that if I'm mentally stimulated, then I'm like, oh, it's about to go down.
Right.
But yeah, I would, oh God, that's so awful. I would never use it against a man like that.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Sorry, guy.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Don't know who submitted this, but you definitely have our sympathy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Screw her.
Yeah.
I mean-
well, don't.
I just realized that. Don't screw her. Better yet, don't screw her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're with you.
How can we tell if she's not interested in us?
She's not responding.
Physically or just like, if physically, I feel like girls can go limp. Like there's kind of the dead fish thing where it's just like if you can just sense her body like shrugging a lot.
Right.
But also like not responding, one word answers.
Right.
Like, hey with only one Y. You know what I mean?
I feel like women, like we really, like we're so nurturing and loving that we show, like we could tell. Like I feel like when we're interested. Oh, like are you talking about like relationship or?
I mean, literally just asked that, but I would guess it's probably earlier. It's probably like
Obviously the earlier.
Still in the online dating stage, trying to figure out should I ask her on a date or a second date.
I was on a date recently, not the one I just slept with the other night last week. I went on a date and he was cool. Like there was really, he wasn't a bad guy. He was great, but I just didn't feel a connection. And there were moments where he would put his arm around me and he would, try to be physical. And I would kind of like brush it off and like, just kind of like go to the side, So, he got the hint, thankfully. But I think that like, just even if you try to make a move and she's just like not all there. And I honestly didn't even like text her back afterwards. So
Yeah. I try really hard not to ghost people. I'm like,
well, I'm an asshole.
no, I mean, don't.
It was a first date, so I felt like
I ghost people. I try not to.
Yeah.
But I definitely ghost people.
Good clarify.
yeah.
But I think one word answers for sure. No follow-up questions, where
Yeah,
it's like
no
you
follow-up
say,
questions.
hey, how you doing? And she's like, I'm good. You're good. That's kind of.
She doesn't want to talk to
Sadly,
you.
that's not a good sign.
Yeah, that's
No,
not.
sorry. What I mean by that is that happens so much that it's not a useful sign. Sorry, not that it's a bad sign. If she
okay.
doesn't do that. It's very common for
Women to not care, like
just not to ask a question, to answer a question without it, then asking
Really?
another one.
Really? That's
it's
common?
actually somewhat common for men to do it too. It seems to be a little worse when men do it than women do, but yeah, it's unfortunately somewhat common.
Again, today I've just been like so sidebarred by my gender.
Because like for me, like if I'm talking to a guy and he's not giving me like that, I'm good, how are you? Then I take it as like he doesn't want to talk to me. So if I'm doing that to somebody else, like that's kind of, I'm an asshole. I kind of just go ghost.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of that. I'm not perfect. That's why I have a podcast called Brocal Therapy, because I got issues. But that's just, I'm being honest about that.
Yeah.
It may be both of you communicate a little more than,
the average
possibly
human. I also think, though, to be fair to women, I feel like some men, like I feel like some men ignore the signs.
Yeah.
They don't want to believe it. And I think it's only fair to like be like, you got to get it by the third time, and you're kind of like, no, I got to chase her. And it's like, no, like there is a aspect to it, where you have to just be like, that's a sign, and that's a sign. So understanding the like truth of the matter, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I just like, if they text me, I just don't respond when I'm not interested. But then like sometimes there are those moments I am super busy and I'm not able to respond right away. I like, if I am interested, I will eventually text them and be like, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to like not respond, but I got busy, and then I let them know. So that's how you know that I'm interested. But if it's been days and I haven't texted you back, don't text me, because I'm not going to text.
Yeah.
And and like I did that to a guy recently, and he called me out on it, and which was again kind of super aggressive, because I didn't even want to give him my number anyway. But I don't know. I just feel like sometimes maybe it is like a millennial thing, but sometimes we just don't want to deal with that kind of conversation and be like, I'm not interested.
Because the consequences scare us. We don't want to hurt. Like,
we also don't want them to just like be mean to us, because there have been situations where men are like, you're a bitch, or like, you know what I mean? Or like, well, you were not that cute anyway. You know what I mean? So like, sometimes it sucks and I hate that I'm ghosting, but like, I don't want to deal with that, because I don't want to deal with like someone being super aggressive about it, So yeah.
Oh my God, like that weird Lyft driver that I had a fling with would just constantly like did not get the signs. I would be like, bro, like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Called me constantly. I eventually had to, I hate doing this because as women, we shouldn't have to do this, but I eventually got on the phone and I was like, I have a boyfriend now. Like, I'm not interested. I have a boyfriend.
If they say I have a boyfriend, then
definitely.
Because most likely they don't.
Most likely we don't. But like, that's like you're not listening to me at all. And I made it, you just saw those text messages. I made it very clear to this guy where it's like, I'm not feeling you. Thank you so much. You're really sweet. I hope you find a girl. But just was so angry. So I feel like if you have to be careful about taking anger out of the situation and not letting it like ruminate.
Yeah.
Sounds like good advice. Okay. So definitely, take the anger out, and also just kind of keep watching for, does it seem like she's not responding? She's not asking questions, and kind of see a couple of those and go, okay, you know what? I don't think she's interested.
Yeah. Right. And also like, I feel like a problem with a lot of like men and women relationships is like every dude should have that one girl that's a friend where you can be like, hey,
like, why is she not?
Because that's the hugest issue, which is why your podcast is so great, because you have dudes on sometimes, and the sense of like bashing men or whatever. You have men that defend themselves. Yeah. But there is that whole idea where it's like, here we are as girls. Like, I'll notice that sometimes when my girlfriends will talk shit about guys and everything, and it's like, it would be useful if we had like an ambassador. Yeah.
A representative.
Yes. So like, don't feel embarrassed to like just ask like your girlfriends that are friends and just be like, hey, well, how would you act in this situation or something?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Right.
Do you enjoy teasing men, like leaning in for a kiss, then pulling back when he leans in? What do you get out of it? How do you think it feels for us, and what's the best way to deal with a woman who's teasing me?
That's weird. I would never. If I want to kiss, like I want to kiss.
Yeah.
There's very aghast expressions here for audience.
Yeah, I feel like that's like someone who's younger would do something like that. Like Rose and I are in our like late 20s. I mean, we're young, but like I feel like that's like someone who's like 21, or you know what I mean, like super young and like doesn't know how to. I don't know. I feel like that's weird. That's not really common. I don't think. I don't really I'll tease a guy like maybe like.
I'll tease a guy like. Verbally, like as a joke.
Yeah, like I'll make fun of him. Like I grew up with brothers, so they used to like bully me all the time. So I like learned to kind of like
bully back.
You know what I mean? So like tease them, whatever. So I mean, that's what I would do, but I would never just be like, pull away, be like, you can't kiss me. Like, gotta catch me. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird.
But to answer the question is, I feel like a lot of women who would tease there is kind of this sense of power, and it's like a tiny way for us to feel like we have power in the relationship, you know, to be like, I have something over you, which even as I say it feels a little gross, but like, I think it's kind of like a power thing as well as this kind of
definitely a power thing.
Yeah, it's a power thing.
And I think too, like we're taught that like men love to chase women. So we do those like little subtleties. I mean, personally, I wouldn't just like back away from a kiss, but I mean, I could see someone else doing that, but it's really just to feel like we're being chased.
But I'm not I've never been accused of I've been accused of many things, and a tease is not one of them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I've never been accused for being a tease. I've been accused for being like an asshole, but not like a tease.
That's what I was gonna say. I've been accused of being a bitch, but like never a tease. But I also think that that too has to do with like, I feel like teasing someone when you have a kind of better relationship with them.
Yeah.
Like teasing them sexually or just like goofy, that's cute.
But not like in the first stages of getting to know somebody.
No. But I think a lot of women probably do it for the power aspect, to feel like
for sure.
They're
only
they got
for the
something
power.
over. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you care how much the guy makes? What if he makes less than you? Does that make him less attractive?
Wow.
Stefanie?
Well, here's the thing. If I meet him and he's still in school and he's working on himself, like, I don't really care. Like, I see that there's potential there, but I would never, it's not even about like how much he makes. I don't really have like a set number of salary of what he makes. It's just knowing that like I could, you know, that he could hold it down, you know, if like something happens to me or whatever it may be. Cause I wouldn't want to be with someone who isn't working or, you know what I mean? Or doesn't have, is it ambitious? Like I'm an ambitious person, so I want my man to be super ambitious. So I do think about stuff like that, but I don't have like a set number. I just like stability is really what it is.
Yeah. I was going to say for me personally, I grew up in a household where my mom was the breadwinner.
My mom too.
Hey, look, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But at least my dad was able to like provide.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He didn't have to like make more or less or whatever. It was just, what can you bring to the table financially?
I could never be with a dude who wasn't passionate or have drive. That's pretty much it. Because I don't want to brag, but I feel like I'm going to be the one that's independent and like have the ownership of being like, I'm going to take care of myself. If you want to be taken care of, cool, but you have to at least bring something to the table to show that this is an investment. As someone who's also dated enough drug dealers and rappers to know that like there does come a point where you're like,
exactly,
yeah, I don't want to do this, you know?
Yeah.
But I do think, but the reason why those men were so attractive to me is because they did have drive and they did have ambitions, and in weird ways they were small business owners. But I don't think I'm one of those people, though, that is like, because of how I grew up, I'm broke enough to think that money fixes things, but that has to do with my income.
Right.
I don't think it has to do with the man's income.
Yeah.
I also have noticed that I think a lot of men are intimidated by women who make more money. And so I think that is an issue where I feel like, are you okay if I make more? That's a conversation I want to have. But I honestly don't think.
Yeah. I don't have like a set salary of what I like expect from a man. It's just really, it really comes down to like, drive, like, you know, and passion, and if they like what they do, and they can provide at the same time.
And as women, you know, we were taught that like, you know, we need someone to protect us, the stability, someone to take care of us. So I do understand women who are like jersey chasers or quote unquote gold diggers, even though it's like, you know, she liked you for your money and you liked her because she was pretty. There's like a payoff between the two. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, great book, amazing movie. So there is
I love that movie, but it is fucked up.
but it makes sense though.
It does,
like, would he love her if she wasn't Marilyn Monroe? Exactly. And she loves him because of the stability and the money. And then we're taught that because of our gender, we're most likely going to get paid less than men. So I understand women who do look for that in a man, to be like, can you take care of me?
Exactly. And then for me, being raised again with a mother who made more money, like I was able to see, I mean, they're divorced now, but it had nothing to do with financial issues. I was able to see like we could run the shit, you know?
Yeah.
And take care of ourselves.
And now it's like my mom was the breadwinner originally. My dad was a stay-at-home dad, and now they own their business together. And it's because
they came together. Oh,
they
that's
came
great.
together.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Nice.
Sorry, our answers are so long. We're like, no.
They've been great answers. They've been great.
Go us.
What's a way you like for a man to create connection with you on a date?
Oh, well, this is so simple, but I feel like it doesn't actually happen as often. I like when they ask questions because for me, I have a podcast. I talk a lot, whatever. So I just naturally like to ask questions about people. And so I find myself being the person that's asking the most questions and talking, and like, they're not really reciprocating that. So I feel like I really pay attention to that, and like how interested by the questions they ask and what questions they ask.
That's big. This is going to sound so weird, but how well he can handle a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Like, I always will stop talking, just be like, how is he going to react? Is he going to squirm? Is this okay? I also do like a touch every once in a while, like a reaching over the table and like touching the hand, or like the laugh, or eye contact is very important. Listening, asking questions, I feel like is really big.
And we could tell when you're listening. We could totally tell when you're listening.
I'm going to say I can't.
Because you can't? I pay attention to these things.
Because I talk a lot and I'm extremely passionate. So sometimes I will go on and on. Like today, I was on the phone and I was going on and on and on about my writing. And then I was like, he is probably not listening. And I like stopped, and he was like, then asked me questions, and I was like, what, you were listening? That's crazy. So I'm glad that we are both on this podcast, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't
I definitely pay attention if they're listening or not. I could tell.
Well, that's why you're good on your podcast.
Thank
because
you.
You can tell.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at that. But I am a great listener in return, though.
Yeah.
That is because I'm so hyper aware of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like a gentle touching and all that.
What you said about like pausing to have that moment of silence, what can he do in that creates connection versus doesn't create connection?
Ooh, if he all of a sudden like pull, like I've seen this happen because I do this test a lot, the silent test.
You are a tease.
Am I? No.
That's not a tease, actually. You're just a tester. You're like one of those girls who test. Women do that. Women, we test to see like what can they do this moment.
To be honest, I've also been accused because I don't really care about zodiacs, but as a Scorpio, apparently that's how I test people. But this one I think is really important because I even do this with my friends. Like you're a true friend with someone when you can just sit in a silence and like you just didn't even realize that they were silent. And I feel like silence is a form of communication within a relationship. So it's like,
But on the first date, you would do that?
No, not normally on the first date. Oh yeah, I should preface this. This isn't normally on the first date. This is like
I feel like first date that might be because it's obviously
first date that's weird. Okay, I'm not that.
Okay.
I'm not that.
Just checking. Okay.
But if you can tell if someone is comfortable with silence because they'll like laugh and like make a joke or like make an observation of something around them, and it's like okay, you find it a little awkward, or like when they just kind of pull away and then they're like, this conversation's over. Like you can kind of tell when they know what to do with the silence.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But again, I think that's because I talk so much. So I want to be able to be like, if I'm not talking, can you fill in that void or be okay with the silence?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But I don't.
That was like on the first
tease.
date.
That's not like what I'm not teasing. It's not like I'm being
You're not teasing. You're testing.
It's just,
That's a test.
It's not like I'm saying I love this pasta. Like I'm joking that I'm saying I love you or something.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like that. It's just kind of like, can we be silent together? And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So second to last question.
Okay.
What
are your biggest turn-ons during sex?
Like every time it's like a sex question, me and Rose just smile. Biggest turn-ons for me is like knowing that they're enjoying it, So like,
I don't like a silent lover.
I don't like a silent lover, so I'm
cool with silences and conversations, but a silent lover is
like, I'm like, do you like this? Am I like?
Are you bored?
Are you bored? Yeah. So I want to hear, like, I want them to be my cheerleader, just like as I'm doing for them.
Yes.
So definitely, like, the dirty talk, the sex talk, like you look so good, the moaning, like. Yeah, just knowing, like, just feeling that they are really, really enjoying this is the biggest turn on versus, like, anything else, I think.
Being quiet.
Yeah, being quiet, that's awkward sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had, my ex-boyfriend was, like, a quiet lover, and I was always like, doing this correctly? Like, I wasn't sure. Like, I'm like, do you like this? Like, I remember asking, like, do you like this?
Is this okay?
But it's like he did. Like, he just is like very like chill and silent. I'm like,
I had sex with a guy who came and it was so silent. I was like, wait, what? And I kept going and he was like, whoa, it's starting to hurt. And I was like, well, what's up? And he's like, well, I came already. And I was like, I had no idea. I was like, wait a second. I was like, I would like some warning where I'm like, oh, okay. He just like, he was just so silent.
Because when they're so silent, like, I don't know what to do, you know? Like, I don't feel like, I don't know.
I know I sound like a hypocrite because here I am being like team silence in conversations, not in sex. Silence is not a form of like talking during sex. I used to have pretty woman rules where I was like no kissing, but now I've gotten
I love it. I love it like
during sex.
Yeah, of course.
I just stopped to have like a makeout session is always really fun.
You know what I always do? If I catch them like making eye contact with me, I get so nervous.
I hate that.
And
I hate eye contact.
They'll be like, you know, making eye contact with me, and I'm just like, I just start kissing them because I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm just gonna make out with you.
You know, that's my biggest pet
It's
peeve.
weird when they just like
stare at you.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you looking into my soul? Like, what's happening?
Like,
too much eye contact is gross.
Yeah, I don't really like it.
Yeah. No.
Like, maybe just like a little bit here and there, but not when you're like really just like,
yeah.
Especially when you're on top and you're just like looking to my soul. I'm like, are my chins out? Like, I
get self-conscious.
You know? Like, what are you looking at?
I just like hands, explore, have some fun.
Yes.
Just see where your hands go. I really like that. I like it when a guy's gripping my hips. I love that. Just, you know, have some fun with that. Don't be silent. Don't make too much eye contact. But then, of course, and then again, asking the questions like, can we do this? Like, like there should be a conversation, or like move to the left, or like, oh, do this. Yeah. I like that.
I like turnover.
Yes. And also, there's nothing wrong with like a nice little coat, like a nice little choke every once in a while.
Yeah. Good choke's good. Spanking.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, don't like, you know, make me panic for a second, but not the whole time.
Right.
Just make me be like, oh, okay.
But also a really sexy thing too is when they're very like, they want to know that you're going to orgasm. Because for us women, it's so much more difficult than men to orgasm, obviously. Mm-hmm. So when I could sense the guys like actually caring about that, like, I want you to come, like, are you there yet? You know, and like they listen too, and I tell them like, don't move, because I'm like climaxing, and they like they listen. So I think that's really sexy, and that's what keeps me going back.
Yes, exactly.
Because there's guys that they're having sex with you, and they're not even like thinking of, you know, like you as like the second party in this. You know?
This is hella random, but I always love having sex to music. I just love it. I feel like it really like changes.
I love having sex to music.
I mean,
the first time I climaxed in 6 years was to "Oh My Gosh" by Usher.
Oh my gosh. Usher, who knew he was going to get a shout out on your podcast? That's crazy.
Yeah, it was the first time in 6 years. 6 years I had an orgasm to that song.
I was having sex to Frank Ocean's Pyramids, and I found myself actually saying the lyrics, and the guy got turned on so much. He was like, whoa, that is hot. And now he tells me all the time, every time he hears that song, he thinks of me, and I'm like, that is the sweetest thing ever. But I think like the music, that wasn't really a question, but I think
I know, we just went off.
We went on a tangent, but I think having music during sex is really dope. And I have a playlist if you need one. I got you. It's a good tempo. And also there's two playlists I have. One of them has like a really random rock song just in case the sex is bad and you need to get up and like change the song. Sorry, it's an escape route. It's an escape route.
Wait, that is so smart.
Everyone needs an exit strategy. And so like out of nowhere a Metallica song starts going. And then if you can have sex to the Metallica song, that's incredible.
Shut the fuck up.
New strategies. Wow.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm looking out for y'all.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm gonna need that playlist.
Okay.
I got you. Sounds good.
I send me those, and I will put them into the podcast description.
Thank you. Next question.
Yeah, next question.
Yeah. So last question, actually. Any last things you want to tell the guys listening?
Don't slut shame us. It's kind of old school. Just
don't be aggressive.
Don't be too aggressive.
Also, I think, this for me personally, like, it's always better relationship-wise to be friends with someone first. So I think just kind of not coming on too strong, but just really building that friendship, getting to know somebody, you know what I mean? I think, and not having expectations, because when you have expectations, that's when you get disappointments, you know? So I think just going into it, no expectations, and just kind of, I mean, going in as friends.
Yeah.
Not too much as friends though.
Yeah.
You know, like calling each other like brother and sister, like that.
God,
Yeah.
wow. That
I
just
don't know.
took a
Like, you're like my brother, you know what I mean? Like, because I have guy friends where I'm like, oh, bro, like I call him bro, and it's like clearly like we're just like platonic, you know?
Okay, I get that.
So yeah,
Okay.
but like I don't know.
But you can't go back. Once you call a guy bro, you can't go back.
Sometimes it should change his ways.
Okay. Learning new things.
Interesting.
Anyway,
I think another
no expectations.
No expectations. I think another thing, because again, this is the conversation I had earlier today, where it's like, please understand that like when we say things like men are trash, or we make these wild exaggerations and generalizations, like we have obviously been hurt by people, and it's not like I mean, there's some women that will be laid out just like blank, like men suck. Just know that like, obviously you're coming to the table with experiences and issues, and she's also probably coming to the table with experiences and issues. So just be like really cautious of those things and being aware, and just know that like, we're all just don't be shitty. Don't be
Yeah,
don't be
just
a
have
dick.
good manners. Don't be shitty.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
Just, you know.
and it's so simple, right? But like but trust me, it's not common.
Yeah. And we know there are some bad women. We also know there's some bad men. Like,
Yeah.
just be cautious of that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Yay.
Thank you for listening to What She's Thinking. Please remember to subscribe, and to help other men find the podcast, please write a review on iTunes. To get your questions answered, go to debugdating.com/questions and send them in. And finally, I'd love to hear your feedback on the show, ideas for what you'd like to hear, and anything else that you'd like to tell me. Please email me at greg@debugdating.com.
The cat is meowing.
Yeah.
But
So
you're a
meow,
cat.
meow,
It's
meow.
different.
Meow, 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 meow.
You don't even know you're a cat. That's the weird part.
Well, of course.